also have Muhammad chiming in.
What am I?
Muhammad, we appreciate your contribution. Even with the refs on their payroll and us spotting them 14, was it 10, 14 points? We still beat that you know what. Go Canes. F Jimbo.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, he's talking about the 2 touchdown drives that were gifted to them, which,
Oh,
yeah.
because of the
That,
penalty. I thought he was talking about the first 2 gaffes
no,
in special
no, no,
teams.
no. It was, yeah, it
Gotcha.
was the
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, even though one was first quarter, one was right at the beginning of the second quarter. But yeah, and even look up, and like, I hate to say it, but the, sorry, my computer was going crazy. So, hello, you got me. There we go. Sorry, it was going crazy. But the touchdown that they scored it might have been the last touchdown. The right guard false started. It was just like Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech, when that left guard would always move early. He left 2 counts early.
I caught that.
Everybody saw it live. The stadium goes, whoa, like in the press box, like,
Yes.
we're not cheering. We're like, yo, like, hey, you know what I mean? And like he left 2 full counts early and they score on that very play. So like reasonably, that's 3 touchdowns. So that's 21 of their 33. It was, again, it was not as close, but yeah, no, we did. Miami really, really laid it to Texas A&M. What's his name? Jaden Davis has an incredible game. Had that forced fumble on 3rd and 1 on Amari Daniels from the crib. Recovered by Cam Kinchins. And since he's fine, Cam Kinchins interception, the first of Connor Wegman's collegiate career. Corey Couch had another one, and Kinchins also had the fumble recovery, had another big hit. James Williams laying the lumber, Francisco Mauagoa making plays. Like this team, and Lance Guidry bringing pressure because it ended with a field goal attempt or field goal in the 3rd quarter, I want to say. Yeah, it ended on the Miami 11. Excuse me, it was 1st and goal on like the 9. And after like a penalty, I want to say. And Lance Guidry, defensive coordinator, just said, look, if you played Madden or the NCAA game, that Engage 8 defensive play, which is blitz everybody and have either man-to-man or like 3 people playing zone in the back. We're running that every single play. Go. Like, stop it. And if you score because you blocked it up and you got enough room, cool. But if you don't, and it comes back on 2nd down, we're running that all-out blitz again. Cover 0, everybody go, figure it out. And they were not able to figure that out in such a way. So, like, I really loved the fact of him double, tripling, quadrupling down and saying, we're going to get up the field. We're going to get pressure. And again, there was not a sack in the game. But Connor Wegman, he got pressured or hit on like 39 of his 54 dropbacks, which is almost 4 out of 5. So 80% of the time that he's getting dropped back, he's getting hurried, touched, hit, you know what I mean? Like something like that. I mean, look, he had a decent game. He got most of his yards in garbage time, I'll say. But like Miami really got after him and made him uncomfortable. So yeah, he was able to step out of a sack here and there and we did not get him for like a 10-yard loss or anything like that. But the pressure consistently from this defense really disrupted what they wanted to do on offense. And it was really a beautiful thing to see.
He's a good player.
He is a good player. Wegman's going to be, he's a good player and going to get better. So, affecting him in that kind of a way was really impressive for the Hurricanes defense. But his best days are in front of him for sure.
Yeah, it's not easy for a quarterback to be playing from behind and have his tackles getting whipped, and he's got no support of a running game, partially because they can't run, number 2, because they're behind, so they have to throw, and he puts it up 53 times. Plus, to his defense, the first interception was a gift because
both of them were
fell down and that ball just landed right in.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is Jimbo was talking about the field and the conditions and everything. Is like, oh well, when they play multiple games at that stadium, what they do is they take the center section and they flip the logo. So like they will take it up and put down new sod and go back and watch it again. Anais Smith, who's an incredible athlete and knows movement science very, very well, he was cutting off of his inside foot. You have no leverage to do that. That's why, when you do drills, you stick the outside foot to go the opposite direction. So if I'm trying to cut right, I stick that left foot in the ground and then I go right. That's how it goes. He's trying to go right, and then he stuck that inside right foot as he's trying to do it, and it slipped out. I get it. It's a minor detail, but if you go back and look at it, cutting off your inside foot, that's how you fall. Not because of any, and like nobody else fell. There was no other thing. So like Jimbo's a little bit of reaching the straws, trying to like give a little jab there, but like, hey, guy tried to cut off the wrong foot because, he's a 10-3, speedster or whatever in the 100. Maybe I can get away with it. Didn't get away with it. Also, the shenanigans of saying that on the 2-point play, Miami was clapping to simulate the snap count, and that's why the snap went early. James Williams is in the end zone, 6 yards deep in the end zone, clapping to try to get Jaden Davis's attention to communicate. That's where the clapping was. It was not a defensive lineman, which Jimbo alleged it was, that they were doing that. And he also left it open-ended because he is a wordsmith. And I swear, go watch his pressers. He speaks so fast with so much content in the words he says, so perfect. Like, trust me, it's insane. But, he's not talking fast because I listen faster. But he said they were doing that, implying it happened multiple times throughout the game. First of all, it did not happen at all. Second of all, it didn't happen at all because you're saying that it happened on the 2-point play, and you can clearly see James Williams way back here by the door that's in the blurred vision of my screen. That's where he was clapping from, trying to get Jaden Davis's attention, looking over this way. Hey, that's what that was. So miss me with that, Jimbo.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me out of Jimbo.
Not at all.
That's
jerk.
Jimbo's feeling the heat, and he should be.
And I don't even want to say jerk because jerk is a lovely phrase that I've co-opted to, empower as a Miami Hurricane. So something else, maybe not safe for work, but we can move on.
This is year 7 for Jimbo, and it's not working out.
Jimbo Sumlin?
Oh, yeah. It's he's running pretty much the same program, if that.
With way better talent, which is what the issue supposedly was. So, and I say that because Jimbo's record is very, very similar to Kevin Sumlin's from when he was at Texas A&M. Look it up.
At one point last year, they were exact. And now
exactly.
Jimbo keeps going south, and Kevin Sumlin pretty much just went across. So I guarantee right now Sumlin's got a better record at A&M than Jimbo, making $90 million. That said, I think I'm here making a good point about Connor Weigman and him missing the one throw that was his first interception in 171 pass attempts because the receiver did fall down and he was anticipating that he was going to be open, which he probably would have been. It probably would have been a 15-yard completion, and then it landed in Cam Kinchin's. But this is why we've got Cam here. This is like reason number 572 is that I thought I had a good point. No, you have inspected the game tape to a T.
Two things can be true. It was a good point. Anais Smith was open on the square in over out, whichever one that it was, coming from the slot from the left going to the right. All those things are true. Also, as well, in addition, he cut off his inside foot. That's why he fell. And then it went to so two things can be true. That's not mutually exclusive.
Falconer TRX. Appreciate you. Facts is facts, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Slim Shady Canes. So Slim Shady is part of our post-game show here at the Voice of College Football after every Miami game. So we appreciate Slim Shady, nice. Alex, and Traveling Fools getting together to host our post-game. Says penalties, especially third down on defense, need to be cleaned up. Now, Cam, I will say this. Are we talking about, from your perspective, legitimate penalties, considering the conversation we just had?
Yeah. Let's see, third down. Francisco Malagoa held the running back on a Texas route in the first quarter, like really early. That was, yeah. So that was a real one. 3rd and 3, there was a face mask. No, like that was the offsetting with James Williams with the I have no idea where that came from penalty. Another one, 4th down, 3rd down. KJ Cloyd had a holding penalty on a 3rd down. So that's it. I mean, and then there was one on offense, Francis Mamagoa. I think that was his actual the one hold, not the one that was him ragdolling somebody that was erroneously called as a hold. So yeah, there were a few on 3rd down, regardless of the SEC refs shenanigans. But yeah, the penalties again, 8 in the opener, and then a 10 and like there were, as I'm looking at the stat sheet, 1, 2, 3 decline penalties. So it could have even been or offsetting. So you're talking about 13 penalties, 14 getting called. That's a little aggressive. So yeah, that needs to get cleaned up.
Those SEC officials were trying to stave off what is now 1 and is it 3 or 4 against the ACC? Miami beat Texas A&M. Florida State beat LSU. Wake beat Vandy, and there's another one in there. North Carolina beat South Carolina. Yeah, 1 and 4 against the ACC. We've got Falconer TRX. Of course, he would jump on the. There's an old discussion with Falconer about turf a long time ago that I don't even remember what it was. Now I do. I actually do. I do remember what it was. We had a listener viewer who was paranoid about turf, and somebody fell down, and that cost such and such a game. That was the Colorado 5th down game of the year 1990. Who couldn't? This individual could not let that go. Like I literally get sometimes 8 and 10 comments a day from this individual still talking about, a video from 3 years ago. But Falconer, Jimbo wants to talk turf. Let's do it. All right.
Appreciate the fandom, obviously. Yeah.